Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope you guys can hear me clearly over my air conditioning. I am doing this video from my car because I'm currently on the road. So I am driving through the city of Portland, Indiana, which is located in Jay County. I forgot to look how far it was from Fort Wayne, so let me look it up real quick. Just to give you guys an idea. Portland, Indiana to Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Fort Wayne is 1 hour, 6 minutes.
Alright, Portland to Fort Wayne, you're talking about an hour and 6 minute drive. That's 49 and a half miles. Portland is directly south of Fort Wayne, pretty much. So for those of you that are looking to move to Portland, or maybe after this video you have a desire to want to live in Portland, if you work a 9 to 5 or for whatever reason you have the need to be not too far from a larger city, Fort Wayne is going to be the closest larger city to you. So anyways, Portland, Indiana, the name of the city came from Portland, Maine. I'm assuming the first settlers who settled here in Portland, I'm assuming they came from Portland, Maine, which is where the city's name came from. And this city was founded in 1837, I believe. Now the population here in Portland is 6,085 people. It has experienced a 1.6% population growth as of the 2020 census, which, by the way, is the first census year that this city has experienced a positive population growth. The last population growth this city has experienced was 1.7% population growth, which happened back in 1970. So from the 1980s all the way to the current census, this city has been losing population. In fact, during, I believe, the 1990 census, this city lost over 8% of its population. And I'm gonna assume that the reason why this city lost so many people over the last 40 years, prior to the latest census, is most likely it's going to be a similar story to many other smaller cities like this, that the bulk of its economy was based off of industrial work. And now that we have pretty much, as a country, now that we are no longer in what would be considered the industrial era, we have shifted over to STEM and tech and more healthcare, all that type of stuff. A lot of the jobs that were in a lot of your industrial jobs were lost here, and many of those companies, y'all know the story, they closed their doors, they moved overseas, they moved to other parts of the country where they can pay their workers crappy wages and work the piss out of them. Y'all know the story. But anyways, fortunately for Indiana, since Indiana, I'm not saying Indiana's perfect, but Indiana, for the most part, in my opinion anyways, does have, many of your Indiana cities do have people who care about the city, they care about the community, and they're wise enough to understand that the only way their communities are going to stay afloat and not become another Mississippi or Alabama is to do what they got to do to recruit businesses to move into the region. Now obviously the majority of your businesses that are going to employ most of your population of Indiana are going to be in larger cities. They're going to be in larger economies, such as greater Indianapolis or greater Fort Wayne. Now, Fort Wayne has done a remarkable job of turning itself around and reinventing itself. And despite how the greater Fort Wayne area has reinvented itself, despite the diversified economy that's also in Indianapolis. You still do have a fair amount of industrial jobs here in the state of Indiana. In fact, Indiana is the leading state for the most amount of industrial jobs that have been created in recent years. And then following Indiana, I believe, is Alabama. But I would say, so yeah, anyways. So despite the sad story of cities like Portland when it comes to the industrial era, Portland is still a solid place to live and call home, in my opinion. You're within an hour of Fort Wayne, and I'm pretty sure if you look for work within the city of Portland, you can find something. Now, obviously, if you want to make the money, if you want to have access to more employment opportunities and variety, you're going to have to drive up to Fort Wayne. That's going to be your closest, largest economy to here. So yeah, I mean, if you want to live in Portland, I mean, just to kind of back up what I just said about Portland and how it's a solid place to live, despite the numbers I read a second ago in concerns to the population lost over the last 40 years prior to the current census. Now, for starters, the median home price in Portland is $134,000. But right now, in this current market, that doesn't really mean a lot. And I'll tell you why in a second. The median rent prices are going from $570 to a little over $1,100 a month. And if you're looking to buy a house in Portland, I mean, number one, understand that the housing market here is relatively busy. I mean, Portland appears to be a heavily sought after city for many people to live. Now, the cheapest house that you're going to be able to find that's currently on the market right now is going to be priced at $175,000. And spoiler alert, if you have $175,000, there is a house that's currently on the market for sale. It's a larger home. It sits on a couple of acres. Huge house, huge square footage. And honestly, this house is not even in the city limits, I don't think. I think this house is going to be a little outside in the country. So it's going to probably come with a septic and a well. It's not going to come with all your city hookups. But if you're looking to live in town, the cheapest house that you'll find in town is going to set you back $235,000. And the price goes up from there. And with that being said, there is not a whole lot of houses here in Portland that are currently for sale. Because like I said, the market here is crazy. It's bonkers. People are just buying up houses left and right here, it seems. So despite what you may have heard about the housing market in general, how the market is slowing down, people ain't buying nothing, interest rates are crazy, and houses are going to be cheap, and they're going to be 50% off of what they were last year. I mean, maybe in other regions of the country that piece of information might be accurate, but here in Indiana, don't listen to none of that crap. Because you come here, I would say in most parts of Indiana, the housing market is steady, to say the least. So don't come here to Indiana thinking that you're going to come through and you're going to buy something that's turnkey, move-in ready, 2,000 square feet sitting on an acre for $100,000. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to find that. For the most part, you're not going to find that. I'm going to tell that right now. So, let's see what else. And I can't really think of much else to say about Portland other than what I just said. I don't want to get into a habit of repeating myself on these videos. I'm going to say what I'm going to say once and keep it pushing. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of experiment here. I'm going to see how far Portland is from, let's see, we're gonna see how far it is from Indianapolis. I'm just curious. Portland, Indiana to Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay, that's an hour and 44 minutes. Oh yeah, like I said, your closest, largest metro area from here is going to be Fort Wayne. Like I said earlier. Now, of course, you're not too. I mean, you're also within an hour of Anderson, Indiana, and you're 42 minutes north of Muncie. You're 42 minutes northeast of Muncie, and you're closer to an hour northeast of Anderson. Because some of you might have teenagers that maybe in a few years you're getting ready to make plans for them to go on to college and further their education, and you might want to keep them local. Some of you might be interested in sending your kids off to Ball State and Muncie, so that's why I bring up the distance from here to Muncie. Of course, you got Anderson University as well, so those are two cities that are, Muncie. They've got a population of about 70,000. Anderson, they got a population of about 55,000. So, those are two cities that you can also go to in the event that you don't find what you need in Portland when it comes to your amenities. But I would say for the most part, you'll find most of all your basic amenities here in Portland, in concerns to shopping, auto care, places to take your laundry if you need that type of a service, all your basics. But yeah, I would say this is a solid place to call home, and a lot of home buyers tend to agree with me. All you gotta do is go on Zillow or Realtor.com and look at the houses here in Portland, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Alright folks, that's gonna do it for my commentary. Enjoy the rest of this video. Hopefully you guys got something out of the commentary. So until next time, you guys have a blessed one, and I'll see you on the next one.